Imagine this. He picks you up for the third date. He is driving a brand new truck, fresh off the lot. We're talking all the upgrades, leather interior, auto start. The sound system is there. And he spends the entire ride just bragging and talking about the rims that he just put on it. But then y'all get to the restaurant and suddenly the energy shifts. He's scanning the menu and he frowns and he says, "Man, $22 for pasta? That's just ridiculous." Babe, we really need to be good stewards of our resources. You're sitting there, you're thinking, wait a minute, you had resources for rims, but all of a sudden you don't have resources for my ravioli? Welcome to Relationship Realities. Tonight, we are having a conversation that keeps a lot of women stuck in what I am calling low effort relationships. We are going to answer the question: has money really changed modern relationships? He's got money, so why won't he spend it on me? I am Texas Brown Sugar, and tonight we are going to learn the difference between a man who is financially wise and a man who, let's just say, is using the word stewardship to be cheap. In the chat, if you have ever been confused by a man's mixed signals when it comes to money, type in the chat the word reality. Do it right now. I need to know I'm talking to the right women. Let's get into it. Oh, Iceberg Slim, salute. What's good, Iceberg? Glad you are in the house. Jammer, my brother, good to see you. Oh, Joe Camp. He's low effort with high expectations. Ooh, yeah, we gonna have to get into that, y'all. um, Before we go, we did a poll, and we did a poll both on Instagram as well as YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, there was a poll that you had, and it asked the question: if a man asks you on a date, but he wants you to pay for the parking, is that a deal breaker? Your options were yes, immediate no, no is just parking, and depends on how much he earns. Now, I haven't checked the Instagram, so let me see what they're talking about. So, oh, I have 24% said yes, immediate no, and oof, only 1% no, it's just parking. Interesting. Let me know. And again, everyone's story is different. My response to this: if he's asked me on a date and I have valet parked, because that's the only option nowadays, my expectation would be for him to pay for the parking. Is it a deal breaker? No, absolutely not. Is it a red flag? Yes, because now you're wondering, if he won't pay for my parking, are there other things that he won't pay for? Are there other um, acts that he won't pay for? Meaning, ways to connect with me. If I like coffee, is he going to pay for my coffee? It's not a deal breaker, but it is a red flag. Definitely a red flag. So here I've got a micro lesson. Let's slow down and really take a second to, as a teaching moment, because I know a lot of you are on here because you're asking the question yourself: is my man or the person that I am dating, are they stingy, or they're just being a good steward with their money? And I know there's a lot of mature women out here. And a lot of you all are getting confused by this "I'm just being a good steward" line. I'm going to break it down. What is a good steward and what's not? I'm going to give you 3 truths about this. Point number 1 being, stewardship is not an excuse for selfishness. Can you say that's 3 times? Selfishness. It's not. The Bible states that the earth and everything in it is God's. If you are a good steward of your money, then that means that the money in your account is also God's, and that you should treat it as such. A real steward is going to reflect God's character. God's is a generous God, and he's not stingy. So when a man says, "I'm just being a good steward," but he is real quick to spend money on his comforts, but when it comes to honoring you, caring for you, it's like generosity went out the window. That's not stewardship. He is being very selective. Also, the Bible also talks about how one who gives freely is going to be all the richer. Now, a lot of people take this out of context, because let's talk about richer. Richer does not necessarily mean money. Um, in the Bible, richer could be um, joy, rich in joy, rich in peace. But being good stewards of your money, you are going to a be separate from generous and stingy. The Bible clearly states that a man who is generous and a man who doesn't like to give up his money is going to be separated from everybody else. So let's roll this back. Psychologically, what we call this is financial control. Financial control is when someone uses money to maintain power rather than using it to create partnership, to create generational wealth. And if this man is using wisdom as language to justify him not investing in you, that is considered control. All right, let's do a chat check-in. I want to ask the chat, if a man spends freely on his own hobbies, but suddenly becomes wise when it comes to date night, is that a red flag or a green light? Type red or green in the chat. Let me know. What are y'all thoughts? Oh, Iceberg Slim and Jay Camp. He was good enough to Steward to get them pumps. Ah! Jay Camp. Hey, camera looking crisp. Thanks. Thanks, fam. I trying to get my game up. Trying to get my game up. Iceberg Slim says, I'm not giving. Okay, Jay Camp. But why, if he paid for them heels, you walking in the restaurant? Again, and I know a lot of people are going to take this the wrong way, because there is a thin line between being stingy and being a good steward of your money. Now, if this man is spending tons of money on himself, on a brand new car, I would think we could spend a little money on a restaurant. I'm not saying every day. And I know a lot of women are going to take this and run with it. No, you don't have to eat out every weekend. That is definitely not being a good steward with your money. But on occasion, you're going out to eat. And nowadays, you can't go nowhere without paying $20 a minimum a plate. What's McDonald's right now? How much is a value meal at McDonald's? Well, like $12, $10? Like, yes, believe me, if he spent for money on those red bottoms, then maybe we need to assess the situation. Definitely. Oh, Iceberg Slim, we going Dutch. Yeah. Iceberg Slim, if you invited this young woman out for dinner, how you gonna go Dutch? That's not how it works. J Kim, if her profession exceeds mine, I at least expect you to pay for parking. LOL. At least get valet if I'm paying for surf and turf. Okay. I can definitely meet you there. Again, it's all about your effort. Are you putting in the effort to show your care, your honor for me? And if your resources are not red bottom and dinner, red surf and turf, then certainly I understand. So now me as a woman have to clearly say, is it surf and turf or is it going to be the red bottoms? I can't have it all. Being good stewards of my money, of my soon to be husband, of the man that I am spending time with, I'm going to choose one or the other. I cannot have the best of both worlds and be a good steward. I got to pick something. Mama Bear, Bebo P, what is good? Salute your way, surf and turf less. What is good, fam? Iceberg Slam. Most are given burger and fries. Surf. Oh man, they are going in today. If we go into the movies, the least you can do is get us a quality seat if I got to pay for $25 popcorn and a $15 drink. Man, like I don't understand why it's so expensive to go to the movies. It just makes no sense to me. It really don't. And again, communication is so key. So key, especially when it comes to money, because money is a huge factor of why a lot of relationships don't end well. They're not healthy. You're not communicating. Clearly communicate. Hey, you just bought you a new pair of rims, but now you don't have money to take me to a coffee shop for a $7 coffee. Let's talk about this. Communication. Point number 2. Money flows toward what he values. Ladies, this is the eye opener. Hear me. And even the Bible says, where your treasure is, there also will be your heart. Not excuses, but where your treasure is where the money goes. If his money is always flowing towards his image, his cars, his clothes, his gadgets or hobbies, whatever that might be, but they are never toward investing in connection with you, with spending time with you, with experiences with you, that tells you where his heart is at. Okay, let's think of it like a behavioral highlighter. What a man says with his mouth is one thing, but what his bank statement shows is where his priorities are. If you were to look at, for those of you who have a shared account, look at your statement. See, and this is truth telling to yourself as well. See where your money is going. That is where your priorities are. And patterns do not lie. They just don't. You can say, "Oh, I'd like to buy a pair of shoes here or there. I'm not a real sneakerhead." But your bank statement says that you're buying 2 and 3 pairs of shoes a month, or 2 pairs every other month. That's a pattern, and that's the truth. You can't hide from your patterns. It is what it is. In the chat, type 1 if you have ever dated a man whose spending habits did not match his words. Type 2 if you haven't quite experienced this yet. um Man, the men are showing up today. Uh oh, J Camp said my coffee is typically $2.62. J Camp, you have got to be purchasing like straight up black coffee with a little sugar, because those mocha chai lattes are way more than $2.62. um J Camp, if we're going to the movies, and we discussed that already. J Camp said everything is high. We have to meet halfway on Trump's economy. That man out on tariff dating. Well, true. Facts. Most men, according to Iceberg, are not dating like that anymore, TBS. It's not worth the bread. Mm. Why aren't they dating like that? Iceberg? Who shifted? Who has shifted this dating world? And can the men shift it back? Is it worth shifting back? J Kim said, y'all be wanting the frappuccinos. Yes, we do. I'm sorry. I just can't do black coffee. I can't do it. Think about what you just said. $8 coffee. Yeah, I did. That's why I make it at home. I don't and facts, my coffee is better at home than it is at Starbucks. I'm just saying because it's exactly the way I want it, and I can get it and jump in my car and head in. Not to save me what a good let's just say $5 every day. It's $25 a week. That's $100 a month. Hey, again, priorities. My bank statement shows I don't go out and buy coffee no more. I just don't. I make it at home. But I love coffee though. Shout out to anybody who has a coffee um coffee shop, Kiss Coffee. Hey, come holler at me. Iceberg Slim facts. The Frappuccino is $6 to $10. Pretty much. Yeah. Iceberg Slim said women typically use men for food and resources. They don't want love, therefore help. Mm, okay. Again, I don't want to generalize and say that all women are that way, but I understand, Iceberg Slim, what you mean that there are some women who are dating for the resources. They want to eat at a good spot, or they want to go get some coffee at a new place that they've never been before. Yes. And I think that you can separate yourself from those type of women with discernment, with knowing patterns. I just watched I just watched what's the comedian who has the Netflix special, y'all? I just watched it. Mike Epps. And in his comedy skit, he said, y'all out here dating and y'all pretending like y'all don't know who who you're dating. And these people tell y'all in the very beginning who they are. Y'all just overlooking it. And that is so true. So true. We have to be diligent and be more attentive to the opposite sex when we are dating. We need to have a good picker. We need to be able to see that, yes, this person is just wants to get a free meal. This person just wants a free coffee. You will be able to tell. We got to pick better. We just got to pick better. Moving on to my third point. A provider mindset is about responsibility, not just income. A lot of people think that being a good provider is just how much money you have. That's not the case. To be a good provider, you have to have the mindset. And provision is not just, oh, he makes a lot of money. Provision is attitude. Hear me when I say it's attitude. Provision is like it's a sense of safety and stability, because this man is going to support your future family. It's not about how much this man makes. It's about his mindset and how he is preparing for the safety, the stability for our future family. And what, I someone had told me this a while ago and I never did really look it up. But in the Bible, it talks about how if man does not provide for his relatives or the family members within his household, that he basically is denying his faith, and he's no better than a person who is unsaved. That's big. And that is a huge responsibility for men. I'm so glad I don't have to have that responsibility, because God is tying manhood to a sense of provision. Again, provision is not about how much money he has, because you can meet a man who has 50K a year, but thinks like a provider. He's budgeting, he's planning, he is making sacrifices. And you can also meet a man who makes 150 a year and he's thinking like a bachelor. He don't have a plan. He eat out every night. He's not making any sacrifices. He's all about, what is it, vibes and vacations. Psychologically, you need a man who is future oriented. You need to ask yourself, is he making decisions with the big picture? Is he making decisions on our future family, the us, not just me, 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 me? Okay, another check in, chat. Imagine this: he makes good money, but every time you bring up future financial goals, like buying a house or saving for a wedding, he changes the subject quickly, or he kind of like laughs it off. Is that a red flag or a green light for a provider mindset? Does he have a provider mindset? Type it in the chat. Red or green flag. He's making this money. Every time you bring up, future goals about buying a home or saving for a wedding, he just skips it altogether. Whoa. J Camp said, right. It's about a man's value. Thank you, Iceberg Slam. 1 Timothy 5:8. One and only Bebo. Dating indeed has become more opportunistic for females as a resource rather than before. Guys are becoming more and more sick of that. And honestly, I don't blame y'all. Who wants to play these games? Who has time to play these games? That's why men, y'all got to pick better. Women, we have to choose better. Point blank, period. And women, if we are wanting a husband, a provider, we have to choose as such. And playing the games, it's not the answer. And again, I understand not everybody is looking for a husband or a provider, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay. My advice is for those who are seeking for a provider, who are seeking for someone who is going to support their family. And again, this advice may not be for everybody. And that's okay. That is completely okay. J Camp said, meet me at a lounge and we can vibe and talk. Facts. Now, J Camp, if you invited me to the lounge, are you buying drinks? Are you buying the appetizers? Let me know. Oh. J Camp, value gives off energy and it can be felt. I wholeheartedly agree. Iceberg Slam, most women in their prime don't want that type of guy. They want They want Walmart Tavius. Oh my, where did you Walmart Tavius? Oh man. Those are the best conversations, says J Kip. LOL. I got to make sure we on the same page about the bread. I invite those talks. Early and often is what I say. Early and often. Don't wait till y'all halfway down the aisle before y'all start talking about money. That is not the time. Not the time. Bebo P said, facts on picking and choosing better there, Les, if dating is a goal in one's life. Yep. Okay. J. Kemp said he got me on the drinks. Okay. Okay. If I can summarize what we just discussed, a man is truly a good steward if he is generous, responsible, and intentional with what God has given him. Especially, especially when it comes to a woman that he claims to value. If you value this woman, you are going to put the love, care, honor, and respect into this woman, which can sometimes, not all the time, include being generous. Hey y'all, if this has helped you at all, if your mind has been open or there was some aha moments, or you think that there's someone who could really truly enjoy this, please, please, please type clarity in the chat. Also hit that like button, forward this to your friend who may need to hear this. All right. I want to go into some specific scenarios so I can see if people let's talk about some of these situations. And some of these situations, let's just say, are personal situations that I've been in or that my girlfriends have been in. So these are real life situations, scenarios. And I'm so interested to see what y'all got to say. Okay, let's just say you've been dating, we'll call him Marcus. Y'all been dating 4 months. He makes six figures and he owns his own home. He is constantly talking about financial wisdom and saving for the future. Just last week, he bought $1,200 worth of golf clubs. And he said that he bought them because they were an investment in his networking. Tonight, it's your birthday dinner. Okay. He takes you to this very nice place. But when the waiter comes and asks about appetizers, Marcus says, let's just skip those. These entrees are, pricey enough. He later then gets the bill. He looks at the bill and he says, oh, let's not get used to this place. Now, my question in the chat is Marcus being financially responsible or is he just stingy with you? Type in the chat wise or cheap. Again, Marcus owns his own home. He makes six figures. He bought $1,200 of golf clubs because he's networking. He takes you to this nice dinner, but then says, let's skip the appetizers because these entrees are pricey. And baby, don't get used to this place. Is that wise or cheap? Let me know in the chat. Oh, wise or cheap? So, wise and cheap. I'm so thankful that Marcus was smart enough to know his woman, to know that she appreciates a nice birthday dinner. Skipping the appetizers is cheap. It's only it's only a birthday dinner. Now, don't get used to this place. Someone could look at that as being wise or cheap. I would say wise. Only because if there is a plan in place to save, then I don't want you getting accustomed to going out to dinner every weekend and to dinner places like that. Now, maybe we can do this on special occasions. I can get used to that. Now that's being wise. Oh. All right, next quick scenario. You go on a first date for coffee. It goes great. The total is $14. J Camp, you done bought your $2.64 coffee, and she done got her a nice espresso, cappuccino, latte, and maybe a croissant on the side. It's $14. He goes and he pays at the register without even saying anything. He just goes, and you're like, oh, okay. I see this gentleman is doing his thing. 2 hours later, you get a Venmo request asking for $7. And then he puts in the memo, for your latte. I had a great time. In the chat, is this modern fairness or a major turn off? Type fair or next. You're moving on to the next. Is it fair or is it next? J Camp, that's your $2.64 coffee, but she's on that latte and croissant. You're gonna Venmo request for the $7 that you paid. Iceberg said Wendy's at best. Iceberg said, I'm genuine. I'm stingy. uh, look, again, if I got invited for coffee and you want me to go Dutch, that says a lot. Now I'm gonna pay you your $7 for the latte that you supposedly pay. But sir, can we have a conversation about this early on? Like, communicate with me. If the expectation is that we are going Dutch, let me know in advance. Again, for me, it's next. He is not showing to me that he is a good, I shouldn't say a good steward, but he is not investing in the experience with me. He is not investing in quality time with me. If this gentleman knows that I like coffee, we go out to a coffee place, and then you ask me to pay for my half, that's a huge red flag for me. I'm moving on to the next. Thank you. Next. Who is that? What was that pop star? Thank you. Next. Very much so. All right. Last situation. Again, I told y'all these situations are some real life situations. and I can't say that I am turned off anymore because I've just heard some really wild stuff and nothing truly surprises me anymore. What surprises me is the acceptance of some of these situations. It should not be what modern dating is, unfortunately. Um, only one and only Bebo Marcusburg taking her to Wendy's to share that small frosty. Dang, we can't even get a medium frosty. Iceberg Slim said Folgers at best. Dang. But if I love coffee, you can't splurge on Starbucks for me? Come on. All right, last situation. We're gonna say Jason. Jason is always talking about, the big life that you're going to have together. Y'all gonna tour Italy, this big house that y'all gonna have. And when you have kids, you're gonna have private school. They're going to private school. But right now, his car is broken down. He's asking you for rides to work. And he just asked you if he could borrow $500 until his next paycheck. My question to you, is he a visionary going through just a rough patch, or selling you a dream that he cannot afford? Type vision or dreamer. Again, you have Jason, who talks big. He has all these dreams, this vision, Italy, big house, private school for the kids. But right now, his current situation is broken down. He's asking you for rides to work, and he just asked you for $500 until his next paycheck. Vision or dreamer? Let me know in the chat. Oh, one and only Bebo said Jason sounds like Walmart TV. Yes. Oh, y'all in this Walmart Tavius. I'm sorry, Walmart Tavius. I'm gonna start using that. Jason is definitely, according to Iceberg Slam, Walmart Tavius. Ladies, again, this gentleman is a dreamer. And there's no problem with a dreamer. But as I always tell you, you should not be dating or looking for a husband with someone who is a dreamer. Who is he right now? That is who you are dating. That is who is going to be your husband. Definitely, this young man needs to have a vision. But there is a difference between a vision and a dreamer. A visionary is action. He's showing action towards his vision. A dreamer talks about it, does not do anything about it. And when you are dating for marriage, you cannot be dating a dreamer or someone who has, quote unquote, potential. If this man is wanting to be the next best podcaster, but is constantly sitting on his couch, don't call crying to your girl when he's asking you for $500 for your next paycheck until he gets his next paycheck. Honey, you have a dreamer. No, we want visionaries. Yes, everybody has a rough patch. We are not dating for potential. We just not. Iceberg Slim, no woman in Houston is dating him. I don't know. Big facts, TBS. But he could be the next Denzel Washington. His wife paid for his teeth to get fixed in acting classes. Yes. And Denzel had the vision and was actually acting. He's actually going and attending classes. He actually went and looked up classes that he wanted to take and said, hey, they're going to cost this much money for me to have acting classes. Can you help a brother out? He had a vision. He acted. He didn't say, oh, can you give me $500 for an acting class? Oh, sure, babe. Where's the acting class at? Oh, I don't know. I haven't looked them up yet. You a dreamer. You haven't done anything to show me that you are acting towards that vision. You need new teeth, baby? Yeah, I got to get these headshots and me having this, missing tooth right here. Yeah, it don't look good. But, I got money for my headshots, but, I need to get these teeth done. Can you help me out? I have my photo headshot scheduled, in 3 weeks with so and so photographer. Oh, no problem. I, you have a vision. I'm going to help you with that vision. That person's acting on it. They're not being a dreamer. They're not laid up on the couch, not doing anything about it. That's the difference. That's the difference. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for checking in with me. I have fun with this topic tonight. I know money always is a sensitive topic, but again, you have to have these conversations early and frequently. You always got to have them. Money always changes. Your situation always changes. And you need to communicate. You need to communicate. Is this gentleman being stingy or is he being a good steward of his money? Again, the proof is in the pudding. What are his bank statements looking like? Is he putting more money into himself and not even spending time to money on you for quality time, money on you investing in your experiences? And when I say experiences, I don't know, let's the experience of going putt-putting in this, new facility. You got brand new rims, but you can't spend $40 on golfing, putt-putt golfing. Patterns. Look for the patterns. They will clearly show you whether this man is a good steward of his money or if he's just being stingy. Let me know in the comments if this was a good live podcast for you. Also, please DM me. Let me know in the comments section what you want to talk about. You got a question for me? Let me answer it live on TV. I said TV, on YouTube, live. I am always up for questions. I want to know what you guys want to talk about. Let me know. I am here. We are all about moving forward. I love y'all. I thank y'all again. And see y'all next week.